Welcome to another episode of the Diplomats on Go Horns Go. We're not joined by Humble, but we are sponsored by diplomacybriefing.com. We are here with the normal cast for season 5. We've rebooted. We're undiplomatic. We're going to be talking about spring 1908. I'm here with Audacious Hand and Superstition. We're here to talk about what a genius I am in predicting that Germany would retreat, in fact, to Bohemia. That's the only thing we're here for, right, fellas?
That's it. Everything else we got right. Just that Bohemia move.
Because you totally remembered you predicted that before
I didn't even remember it until you told me.
Yeah. It's fine, though.
But the Silesian Army got disbanded, as did Eastern Med. I don't know if we talked about Portugal or not being disbanded.
We did. At least Cedric did. He said if disbands in the West, then it would be Portugal. If the East would be Aegean. So it just depends on the priorities. Apparently, Italy's going all in with the English ally. So not a bad move. They have a good solid front together.
So, Hand, before we go to look at what we're going to next, have you been drinking wine representing Russia's tears and celebrating Austria's profound comeback?
Yep, it's the I'm sipping on the wine of resentment, sitting in front of the fire of deception, and ready to enjoy another wonderful episode.
All right. I'll tell you who else. I think our only listener here may be Lady Razor, but God bless Lady Razor. Lots of illustrations, honked but not forgotten. And look, I think he's listening, Hand, because he put on the tombstone, conk, make sure everybody knows I was the people's choice.
Yeah, this is my favorite illustration thus far. I think that he also answered Conk's call for a picture of him looking handsome. But yeah, I mean, I love all the little details. I like the really long memoir. I like the fact he's digging his own grave, the black smoke of the surrounding powers coming for his little peninsula. Some really, really fine touches, covered in scars. Yeah, well done. Well done as usual, but this is a masterpiece.
Lady Razor put on there that
was eliminated.
Yeah, he couldn't, like, he liked listening to my explanation of his art. It's true, I'm not creative. I don't see all the references, but I do like looking at them. Here's forced retirement, little France going away at the hands of Italy and England. I'm afraid this idiot is quite delusional. We got little Ewok here, village idiot, chained to VI in one of those little magic things. What are we looking at here?
I didn't actually quite get this one. Did you get? Is it that Ewok is like the pseudonym who's waiting to let Village Idiot his true self out of the cage, or
no? Well, Ewok was the name, the pseudonym that Village Idiot played under this time.
Right, I know that, but I guess I don't understand.
Well, he was trying to play a nicer game.
Maybe one of our listeners can tell us.
More. In my opinion, it's like maybe he should let his old self out of the cage so he can actually play better. I don't know.
Yeah. Who knows?
All right, what do we got? We got Reanimator.
Austria bringing him
coming out of the grave. Who's reading the Curse of Conk? Is that Austria?
Yeah.
To bring him out.
I mean, I love how the details of the faces are caricatures of the actual players too. Is pretty great.
And did you see Umble's dig at you on the Discord server?
I did.
Any response? You know he's listening to this podcast. He probably didn't like what you said. No response. Humble, you win again.
Oh yeah, who knows?
Okay, first of all, I'm not short.
I love this.
Second of all,
up and we're all tall as the screen. You're always at the bottom of the screen. So
I'm not losing my hair. I mean, I have hair. Okay, I mean, I don't know what's going on here. I don't mind being fat. I don't mind the glasses. I don't have a Fu Manchu either, but okay, whatever.
I should have worn the wife beater today. Oh, I forgot to wear the uniform.
You're wearing like a Borat one in the end.
Yeah. I mean, I never noticed, but it is true that we've been in like an increasing state of undressed and slovenliness. I've also my beard has definitely been getting long as well. But yeah, there's something a little phallic too about the growing cigar and our nipples being increasingly exposed.
But Lady Razor, as Freud said, sometimes a cigar is just a cigar. All right. Big moves in 1908, or are they? Let's start where we see a lot of black arrows, and I'll go to the east with Austria taking Romania, setting up on Sevastopol, taking the Aegean with Conch's help, Italy taking Greece. What's going on in the Balkans?
Yeah. I mean, it looks like, I suppose, Italy aims to kind of to hold Greece, which I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. I mean, I'm not sure I even necessarily agree with the disband in Portugal. I suppose he might have been under some pressure by England there. In terms of, getting towards the end of the game, where are you going to snatch the most centers from? Greece is a pretty tough hold. I guess if he can just I mean, I guess if he's maybe has some inkling that he can get Turkey back on side, as we discussed last episode. I guess he just aims to hold him there.
Turkey doesn't want to go west. He wants to go east. He needs to get his home centers back, so he's gonna have to fight Austria eventually.
Yeah, well, I assumed it was a trade. I assumed that. Okay, well, first of all, we have an issue with the retreat.
Yes.
Because Romania and Greece both can't retreat to Bulgaria, or they'll be blown up.
Yeah, they'll both be disbanded.
I don't know why Romania would want to go to Bulgaria anyways, though.
So my assumption is that Greece will go to Bulgaria and then get Serbia into Greece, and in exchange, Conch can have Smyrna.
Probably. Of course, these are two players who bounced in the Black Sea for 5 years in a row or something. So I could see them.
No, not Austria and Turkey.
No, I'm talking about Turkey and Russia. They butted heads in the Black Sea for half the game at their either expense. I could see them just having a little bit of a dick swinging contest, and both are going to Bulgaria and blowing each other up.
Yeah, that would be funny.
That'd be very good for Austria.
It would be what? It would be very good for Austria. I mean, I think that Turkey has got to be playing somewhat nihilistically right now, so I don't think he cares. I think he's just going to go to Bulgaria unless he has something worked out.
Go to Bulgaria. Keep those fleets together. That's a good retreat for him.
He's going to have to put the decision in Russia's hands. He's right. He's just going to have to say, "I'm retreating there." Period.
Very much. Yep.
I mean, I think that Russia, it would. I don't think going to Bulgaria is a good move for Russia because then he's out on the island there. I suppose if he maybe has reached out to Italy in some kind of convincing way, but it seems to me like he needs to go back to Sevastopol. I mean, at this point in the game, though, what are the question is posed of what people are people playing for? What is their goal in the game at this point? Is now an open question.
What is this support order of Trieste to Venice?
Yeah,
You think that's just a throwaway?
Yeah, it's probably just a throwaway. I'm like, this isn't a gunboat. I thought more curious that Italy was helping Germany in, and that almost seems more of a, I know you're going to move there anyways. I guess he'd rather have Germany there than Austria there. I'm not sure.
Well, they're fighting.
Yep.
I mean,
is Venice gone to the German? Is Austria going to do it, or are Germany and Italy going to try and get back on side now?
Right. I mean, it's a bit of a Mexican standoff, right? It is an interesting thing where Italy is still fighting Germany. Maybe he's getting worried about Austria's rapid ascent. I mean, Austria is above him. He's a little bit down below both of them, so he wants to place himself in a position where he has some kind of they both have something at stake. They both need him in some way. Do you guys think it could have been some kind of attempted malicious support, perhaps, or?
Yeah, I think he probably anticipated Bohemia moving there, and maybe he was trying to bounce Austria supporting itself in. I'm not sure, but I can't imagine that Italy wants. I think it was just a good guess.
That was my first thought. My first thought was that he thought that Austria was going to support himself into Tyrolia, and that this way he could keep both of them out of Tyrolia.
Right.
And then maybe Austria supported Venice with some cheeky move where Austria fooled him into doing that.
Because I don't see why he would free up Munich to give support. That doesn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is not. It's interesting because there's been some really puzzling moves around Tyrolia lately. Last turn was equally puzzling when Munich and Trieste bounced in Tyrolia while Italy moved back to Venice. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll move to the west. I have to say, this is one of these strange games when you get to 1908 and you see no activity in the Western Mediterranean at all. But we're just gonna move to the western corner of the board here. I kind of like what Germany did here, moving Paris to Burgundy, supported by Munich to offset Burgundy to Paris. But that is only going to work in the spring because we've got the English unit coming down into Picardy.
Yeah, I really
convoy.
thought that was a little bit better, where they convoyed straight into Belgium. I don't really understand why Picardy was a better move, because Burgundy could have went to Rouen, and Gascony could have tapped Paris, and then you could have just supported right into Belgium instead of using that Italian fleet to convoy. It just seemed much better.
I think Italy's got a real concern here, hand, because Italy is going to want Paris,
right?
Belgium, or something. And I think Germany's going to go to Austria and say, "I'm losing something. Can you please put me into Venice?"
But I mean,
unless this is going to help Austria.
Doesn't England have to take? Isn't England the one who's going to get Paris now? Because otherwise, the supports get broken. because Gascony is the only one that can support without being interrupted.
Right. Well, I don't think Italy wants to hear that. So I guess what could happen
so
is.
It seems like.
Go ahead.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. I think Italy miscalculated here. He disbanded Portugal, and he's putting so much faith in this leverage he has in the English Channel, but it's just what he's getting from that is just diminishing. Now he could just swoop up to. I suppose
he could take Brest. He could trade Brest for Paris.
Right. He could trade Brest for Paris. He can go into the Irish Sea if he can kind of somehow deny England a build. But I mean, he had the whole. I mean, this is a critique I've had for a while. He just continues to kind of just waste his potential in the West for what are really marginal gains in the East.
Yeah,
Spain's always there. You can always pluck that away at the end, but
I really hate this. If they had done something like I had said, or exactly like I had said, Italy would be in Paris, England would be in Belgium, and there'd be a retreat from Burgundy into Marseille. This is way better. You'd actually force to span Belgium by moving Brest into Picardy, but oh well. Yeah, it's weird because instead of really locking it into Germany, now they're going to be figuring out who gets the one center off of them.
I mean, what I'm seeing is that I think I'm seeing way more potential centers for England here, and not just because of the way the supports work out and the way the positions are. Yeah, I mean, if England gets a build here, if England gets a build here, Italy can no longer take it to them. I mean, Italy, yeah. So, I mean, now England is very much in contention. This is really going to come down to the wire, and and then hats off to Germany, who just is clinging to this 9-center kind of lead, but. I just think Italy just complete wasted his time. His whole strength for so much of the game was the fact that he was a player in the East while only really having a single fleet over there, while just having this kind of growing power in the West. And I think that's gone now. Conk might still give him the game, I suppose, but yeah, I think Italy's kind of people are. I think he's passed in terms of the pole position here.
I'm thinking the North is stalemated. I mean, for even though the North Sea was just used as a convoy, I mean, I don't think England can take anything out of Scandinavia up there, and vice versa, right? They can trade. You can trade St. Petersburg for Norway, I assume.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree with that. I think I mean that's what I was mentioning is that once you get that army into Finland, you can whoever has that army in Finland, if you have a few other units up there, it turns into something of a fortress. Of course, Germany's kind of locked himself into that fortress as well. And again, it's like me and Keith were saying, have been saying, is that the biggest I'd say the two biggest reservoirs of centers right now are the Russian centers and the German coast. And in that sense, if the two powers have the best chance of making a final sprint and winning this game right now, to me, are England and Austria. And it's kind of both of them are kind of impressive. I mean, Austria got there by making war on everyone. England got there by never stabbing anyone. So
two different games on two different sides of the map. It's very different.
Well, in a time limited game, as I know about as well as anybody, it turns into a popularity contest. England might be the most popular right now.
Yeah, I just hate they missed that momentum. That's really bad for Italy. Yeah, the only thing that's going to break the stalemate in the north is if Germany holds his position and moves Sweden to the Gulf of Bothnia. That could help break STP. He doesn't really need it to, or move it into Skagerrak. He has to move it one way or the other. He doesn't really need it to hold anything there.
Yeah, I'm kind of a little bit surprised that he's just beating his head against the North Sea here. I mean,
well,
the North
one or the other. Take the North or take St. Petersburg. We don't sit in Sweden and pretend like it's going to do something.
Yeah, like moving to Skagerrak, you mean?
Right.
The North
England has to evacuate north for him to break any position, so that's really not going to happen.
Yeah, it's bizarre. I mean, he must have gotten some kind of misinformation to make him believe that the North Sea would move. I don't know. It is, yeah.
I mean, everything I would say is London is going to support North, and North is going to convoy. I had it convoying into Belgium, but it's going to convoy. I mean, nothing attacking North is going to do.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he thought Italy would tap London or something.
Okay, so Belgium's definitely gone in the fall, right? Or Paris. One of the two must fall.
That's right. That's right.
Do you put the Italian fleet? Well, I guess who's the mover?
Italy would be a fool to move that English Channel.
And he can't move Burgundy.
Why not?
Well, he could move Burgundy. Why not?
Or Burgundy up into Belgium from the English Channel.
Exactly.
I mean, Italy's got to get a center, and it's not looking like Paris.
Well, who takes Burgundy in that case?
Well, Germany would slip into Burgundy there.
But you still have gaps in a block.
Italy just won a great spot because if he moves out of Burgundy and Germany gets in there and leaves it and then raids Iberia, he has more to lose there than England does. Yeah, I think Italy is really. I think he's given up too much in the West. I mean, Great Britain, they haven't stepped anyone. They've shown themselves to be a loyal ally, but if we remember earlier in the game with Germany, also an ally who will very subtly hamstring you.
I think the better move is
to see that going on right now as well.
Maybe just trade off, and maybe Gascony slips into Spain. It gives them a slightly defensive position, but I don't know.
Well, that's my next question. Do you think Italy might just slip into Spain?
Well, certainly. I mean, he'd almost have to work something out with Germany.
Well, they got to be talking because Venice is under direct threat. Would Austria help Germany into Venice? Yeah, you don't like Italy, but do you want Germany to stay even when you're trying to catch up?
I don't think so. That would be a bad move, in my opinion.
To an extent, but on the other hand, Germany a way to aggress Austria, and that would hamstring Italy, who's a little bit more of a threat and also has some centers accessible to him. And Germany just has an isolated army down there that you could then push within a few turns. I mean, if I'm Austria, I am looking a little bit at those Italian centers and wishing I had some bridge to get over there.
If he agrees to it, I would imagine that Trieste would support into Venice and Vienna would go right in the Tyrolia behind it.
Yeah,
that might happen, or there might be a deal that Germany's got to build in Kiel.
I mean, it's pretty much pushing Germany through Piedmont. You're going to force force him out. He's probably not going to stick around Italy. He's probably going to come around.
I mean, he might. I mean, Germany might even go straight into Piedmont this turn, which would actually be not a bad move.
Not a bad move. Break that French line.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I could see that. I mean, I could see that. Austria has the tiebreaker over Germany, so he could be aiming to, maybe he's not quite as worried about Germany staying at a slightly higher center count, banking on the fact that he has a greater route to expansion in Russia and in Italy to an extent, and that he can even up the score rather quickly.
Italy's he's not gonna get Greece, so Austria will end up getting Greece, losing Bulgaria, getting Romania, going up 1. Germany's probably going to remain even, right? I don't think Germany's going to lose more than 1.
He can still lose Belgium and Paris.
Yeah, I mean, I could see.
Could happen. It could.
But
it's more likely to lose 1.
England might have to move north to Holland just to ensure it, but that's a little risky.
Yeah, there's a few fatal moves here. I mean, I think that Germany's going to really regret not doing something else with Sweden. I think Italy's really going to regret the disband in Portugal. Yeah, and I could see it. I could see Austria and Germany kind of working together for one final sprint. One final sprint here. I could see also I could see Turkey also I still think that he might end up throwing that last center to whoever he likes best.
I think Konk's only goal here is to have more centers than Russia at the end.
Because if you look at it, Picardy can come down into Paris with support from Gascony. Burgundy can go up to Belgium with support with the English Channel. The North Sea can move to Holland. London can move to the north with support from Norwegian. And then Moscow can support St. Petersburg again. And nothing that Germany can do could stop that. He's gonna definitely lose Paris, and he's gonna lose either Belgium or Holland.
Yeah. And then who gets those centers?
Well, the thing is that Italy's only play is Belgium. So if Germany cut him out, then England would get 2.
Yeah, see, and England gets 2.
Yep. But that was their fault for misplaying last turn. They should have had Italy into Paris.
I mean, is it a misplay, or is England subtly into making poor plays?
Well,
it's just a little too reminiscent of what was going on between England and Germany. Huh?
England got the disband in Portugal, so apparently he's running the show.
Yeah, exactly. Which is so bizarre. I mean,
very bizarre.
It's like the dialectic of master and slave, where the servant slowly becomes the master through the master's dependence on him.
Because if they would put the English army into Belgium, that would have put England on a direct assault on the German home centers, while Italy could pick up the French centers easily from behind, and it would have been relatively even. In this scenario, Italy's only option is to go into Germany and leave its whole centers exposed.
Let's look at this another way, though. What if Italy wakes up and realizes that he's here washing his butt, and he decides to flip and go with Germany? What then, right? I mean, even then, it's he could get maybe 2 centers as a peace offering from Germany, I suppose.
Yep.
You can get 2 centers as a peace offering from Germany. I'm not sure. And then Germany, what does he get from that? He gets
Trieste.
Huh?
Trieste.
Yeah, he could get Trieste, and he could get, more importantly, he gets relief, like he can actually protect his northern coasts. I could see that happening. I could really see that happening. I could see Italy and Germany working it out here.
Yeah, I think that's Italy's only play, is to work out with something with Germany. I don't know. It's
Italy
like,
has to, or he's yep. I think that's his only play. Otherwise, he's going to end up, out there sleeping in that doghouse, in England's doghouse. So
it'd be neat to see a Belgian convoy into Wales.
oh, that would be great. That'd be devastating. That really would be.
Then they would be completely mixed up. It was definitely a last year move, but
yeah,
they could only have a couple years left. But it would have interlocked England and Germany.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that.
Well, it would be kind of genius to convoy the English army to the continent and then convoy the Belgian army to Wales.
I mean, I have to say, it's not something. I mean, I've seen that before. I have seen that before. That an army gets convoyed into England, the second England convoys an army out. Yeah. I think those are the two paths. Either England is going to reap the rewards of this alliance and is going to make a strong play to win this game, or Italy is about to flip. Perhaps that's why that support into Tyrolia, or perhaps that's one of the reasons why that happened as well.
How would Italy flip?
Yeah. Why or how?
What's an optimal move set for an anti-English stab?
I think he would get Brest in Spain as the most simple answer, or something flashy. I mean, if he could get Germany to convoy to Wales, that would be great, because you're both taking armies away from your front. You are hamstringing England. You only get one center from it, but that would be pretty devastating. You are slightly playing with fire because Germany is at 9. So you do want to kind of pump yourself up too. I don't know. What do you think, Keith?
Yeah, I think if they're going to work together, then Germany is going to have to give everything to Italy. No incentive to blowing up Germany any more than it is. And without any other opposition, I don't see that.
Worth it. I think it's worth it for, like, if I was Germany, that I don't, let Italy go up 2 more centers, make him a bigger target. Maybe you can get, get Austria to devote some units west rather than just, devouring the.
Well, once England and Italy are kind of broken, Italy's going to be pushed
the rotten life that is.
Yeah, okay, but let me ask you this: isn't it really in Germany's interest to propose Brest in Spain and then not do it? To sell Italy all in on the stab of England and then not follow through?
Well, to an extent, but we're getting towards the end of the game. I have a feeling this is going to devolve into anarchy, perhaps. And I mean, the advantage. I mean, honestly, at England, because of his hold on on the North Sea, and because of the paucity of units that Germany has to defend his coast, dealing England a few disbands would be really useful, and also. With Russia just kind of collapsing, he could make a quick play and maybe grab forces from the island. So yeah, I'm not so sure about that. I mean, I wouldn't maybe outright lie, but if you could arrange a fortunate accident in how that happens, that would be best. Something plausibly deniable. But I think you do want England. You don't want England to grow. England's the bigger threat.
Okay. Do you know what they call you guys look like big sports fans. Do you know what they call the last pick of the NFL draft?
No idea.
Mr. Irrelevant. I'm labeling Russia here as Mr. Irrelevant. We haven't talked about Russia's play at all. There's not much to talk about. I think I said last year in 07 it was game over. It's game over, right?
Yeah, there's no way Russia can come back.
Russia cannot come back, but Russia can decide the winner if he so chooses, or will be able to. And that could be in two different ways. I mean, so the way I'm reading the board, barring a flip by, Italy onto England, I would say Russia borders all three of the most likely winners right now. And so like he really might have the deciding vote here.
He could get Germany into St. Petersburg.
Exactly. He could do that. Or he could not do that in England. Just which way he goes, or he could prioritize the North in a way that allows Austria to expand. I think that I don't think he's going to want to allow Austria to win at this point, just because he doesn't want to look foolish. I don't really know him well enough to know what his psychological motivations are here. Somehow I feel like Conk might be more of the kind of player who revels in kind of casting a pall on the game by throwing it. I don't really know what Village Idiot would do. I mean, you guys have played.
Well, I'll quote an exact quote from one of his press to me. I am a very skilled kingmaker. This is what he told me in a press after I stabbed him. And so he will be looking to make a king if he can.
The problem with Russia right now is that once it's down to 3 centers, he's going to either have to prioritize his own centers or keeping St. Petersburg safe. So if they don't take down the German centers, I think the English North is going to be taken. I don't think England can hold out very much longer.
Yeah, I could almost see him helping Germany more insofar as when Austria stabbed him this last time, Russia seemed to be trying to get him to go for Germany. And I'm guessing that his selling point to the board was Germany is going to win this game if we don't do something, like get him. And then a lot of times in a situation like that, people want to be right. So he will want Germany to win in order to be vindicated in what he did.
Well, also Germany moved away from him.
The motivation to say "I told you so" is very strong.
I think Russia would pick Germany over Austria.
I mean, Germany drug his feet many times to keep St. Petersburg safe.
Yeah,
and even stabbed when the St. Petersburg was going to fall.
Mm-hmm.
You only took it when it was wide open. So I think Russia is definitely would lean towards Germany as the winner.
Okay, lightning round of questions here. First question, will Conk build again at the end of 08? Does he get 3 and get a build?
Oh, man. How? Like maybe
he'll retreat to Bulgaria and then support Serbia into Greece and slip Khan to Smyrna.
I think he's going to try.
So you think that he might stab Austria to get a third build?
No, I think he's just going to tell Austria we'll trade Greece for Smyrna. Well, he's got a 50-50
on Bulgaria.
Yeah, I could see that. It's possible. It's possible. I mean, there's nothing really. I mean, Austria would have to devote 2 units to pushing him out of Bulgaria when he probably wants to focus on Sevastopol if he moved to Armenia.
No, he wants to focus on Greece. He doesn't want an Italian build. Austria has to
right?
take
Yeah, I mean, he has a
Greece.
lot. He has a lot to deal with. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. And whether or not it's arranged, he could probably slip in there. No, it's true.
Yeah,
He could get to 3. That would be quite amusing. Quite amusing.
He can get Ankara too.
Well, he can maybe have his pick.
Yeah, it's a 50-50 shot because Ankara can only cover one of them.
Right.
Yeah. No.
Not getting Sevastopol this year.
The Reconquista.
So I think Conca has a good chance of getting 3.
I think so too. I think so too. What a beautiful tale.
Will Russia do anything in the north with the Moscow army?
I can't believe he held. Come on. Why? At least taps it. Why not tap St. Petersburg?
Right.
No, he doesn't want to. He wants England to get Norway, and then he'll take it.
But if he would have tapped it, he would have walked right in.
I don't know.
Then you could have helped England keep Norway and have a build.
Yeah.
If you knew England was leaving, you should have moved in. And if you didn't want England to leave, you should have supported. So
it's like he doesn't really know. He's not very good at this. This is what I'm saying. Like, I think Congas can get to 3 because I feel like nihilism is an art, you know. Some people really, when they're back against the wall, it's like their natural state. Like they've lived much of their lives with their back against the wall, and that's when they shine. Whereas, I don't know, holding units isn't really something you do when you have nothing to lose.
I'm literally texting myself, nihilism is an art, so it can be the title.
but yeah, I mean, last season Moscow held St. Petersburg. It just makes sense. I'm like, are you not wanting to ally with somebody now, or you just want to be neutral? I'm not sure.
Well, if you think about alliances, there's only 1.5 on the board. You have an English-Italian alliance and an Austria kind of with Turkey alliance. That's it. It's a big A, little T. Okay. Does Germany have a disband at the end of 08? Yes or no?
If these players are any good, he should have a disband.
I can't really. I really. It depends. I mean, like I said, I could see Italy flipping on England here. I mean, it's kind of a bit of a like there's kind of a psychological motivation not to flip because it's the same dilemma. It's the dilemma of like the waiting in line, right? So when you wait in line for 20 minutes, you've already been in line so long that you don't want to leave line, right? And that's actually like one of the biggest like psychological fallacies, right? Like there's actually no reason not to get out of line after 20 minutes, but you know, Italy has been hanging in there with England for so long. He kind of missed his opportunities to press at his advantage. So there's this way in which you don't want to flip on him because the returns are not as good as they would have been if he had like left that alliance early. But I think if he's thinking in a completely clear-headed way, he will go with Germany here. I'm going to give it. I'm going to call it. I think Italy will flip. I think Italy will flip here. I don't think he wants. There's no way for him to keep pressing Germany without giving England the lion's share of the spoils. You know,
and Italy will get how many builds at the end of 08?
I think Italy will take Spain and Brest. I think Italy would take Spain and Brest, and yeah. But then again, I mean, England's been playing him like a fiddle, but a very slow fiddle, a kind of like a slow, sad kind of, maybe more of a violin, slow, sad song. So maybe as I said, maybe that he's washing his butler's feet now and he has no idea what happened to him.
Okay, will England snuff it out, or will he? Does England think? Do you think you're calling the turn? Superstition? Do you think England gains the advantage here and stays with Italy?
I
Is
think
Poser
so.
Tom the kind of guy to change?
I really don't see him growing in the East, and I think he does need centers in the West to actually be a player. But I don't think he can catch Germany, and so I think that he's got to stick it out one more year, even if England agrees to trade Spain or something. The problem is that Italy loses a lot of his front for stealing centers, so he kind of needs to play both sides here and get them to move away. I just don't know how he's going to do that.
Well, I think Poser Tom has shown himself to be intelligent. Think if Italy does get the two, you're right. He's got nothing up in the West to expand. That's an easy trade for Germany. England is going to disband in a way that's favorable. Well, maybe not, because if they take Brest, it could retreat to Mid Atlantic. That's one he would not. Italy. That's one that. Oh no, that's one that England would not disband.
I just
That
don't like
fleet.
the idea of leaving the channel. I think that's such a powerful position. He's definitely a player between those two, and he can use it either way that he wants.
I mean, it was a powerful position, but he just wasted it. He wasted it. He never took the Mid Atlantic. I mean, it's just such a waste. It's such a powerful position, but he let England build fleets all around him. Never did anything with it.
Italy's best bet is to convince Russia to retreat to Bulgaria so he can hold Greece. That's Italy's best bet. Everything else is kind of a crapshoot in the north or in the west. So, yeah, I don't know. I'd still press Germany with me, but I'd have to make sure I mitigate those gains somehow.
I mean, it's just too bad because I think Italy's played such a good game, but so many of his moves were just one season behind. And I think once again, like he very well might flip here, but it's a little bit late to make a move.
I actually think that's the English curse, being a season behind. And I guess it's whoever allies with England is a season behind.
Well, that's what I'm saying is I'm starting to see a pattern here is that England's allies tend to be a season behind in a way that allows England to creep up on them.
Yep.
And Germany maybe like kind of sniffed that out last time because if you recall,
and
England was
right. You might be just like, wait a second, this isn't good at all.
I mean, if you recall, Germany flipped on England right before England was about to get like 2 or 3 builds and go up, and suddenly Italy is finding himself in the same
position.
Situation. So maybe England's style is a little more flavor than we thought, and we just weren't seeing that pattern at first. So interesting.
It's a frustrating flavor.
Oh God, yeah.
It's like bitter grapefruit.
Okay, the most popular part of our segment, according to our viewer, is the grades.
Viewer.
Germany's grade for 08.
I like it. I give it an A. I think he did most of what I said to do. I would have supported in the Tyrolia, but he saved Paris. Paris was unsavable, but he saved it. So, all right.
I'm going to give him a B. He's still at 9. Still maintaining, but there's a few details. I mean, should have moved Sweden more decisively. Banging his head against the North Sea seemed a little bit like, doing something that had very low likelihood of working. the self-balance in Holland, I mean, it worked out. I'm just kind of amazed. You know, a self-balance against top-level players often has the danger of malicious support. That wasn't too much of a threat because he tapped the North Sea, but still, I mean, but and then you know the best part was once again saving Paris. That was good. If the move to Tyrolia is part of a greater arrangement, I mean, as Germany, I love being in Tyrolia because it gives me. I often will go there as the peacemaker of sorts, right? It gives you you have only one unit there, but suddenly you're in the center of the in Austria. So it's kind of a mixed bag. I'll give him a B.
I'll go A minus. Wasn't a big fan of the self bounce, but you're right, it did work out. Uh, okay, let's do an easy one. Russia.
So this is just for the spring, correct?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I really thought he should have supported Romania and just tapped Galicia. He would have saved himself the retreat. I just don't understand. That was a good time to play defensively too. And the hold in Moscow makes no sense. For me, it's an F all the way around because that was an easy set.
Yeah, his options were limited. He almost kind of just gave up on Romania.
He gave up on Romania.
He banked
Well,
on
I
the fact
think he knew Anchor was going to go to Armenia.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it's a hard grade just because his options are pretty limited. I mean, did he? Perhaps he thought that Germany was going to tap Vienna. I'll give him a C. I think it's almost like a move of despair. It almost looks like he didn't put too much thought in it. I really hate the hold in Moscow, but more on an aesthetic level. If he had managed to get Galicia, that would have slowed Austria's roll pretty well.
If he supported Romania with Ukraine, he would be in the same position and not.
Yeah, he would have, but he had to guess right for that. I think that he thought, it looks to me like he thought that Galicia would go into Romania. I think he thought that Austria would
have Galicia be the mover.
He thought that Austria would assume that he was going to do the move that you're proposing because your move is more like the kind of self-evident move. So he was thinking in a few folds. And Austria is such a great duelist where he's like, oh, people are so used to my multi-fold thinking, I'm just going to do a very straightforward move and crush you now.
Well, my straight move was tapping Ukraine to make sure you got Romania. But
yeah,
I guess he assumed that with the tap, he would have been in Galicia and forced to retreat out.
Yeah.
Maybe he'd have 3 then.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe I'll give him a C minus. You're kind of selling me a little bit on it, but I just think his options were limited, and you know hindsight's 20/20. So, I mean, Austria is just beating his ass over and over again tactically. You know, it's a little bit embarrassing, but we should not.
Yeah, but I had Budapest as the mover. Budapest is the only thing that made sense.
I wonder if Village Idiot hears that a player who's been playing 6 months is kicking his ass. I don't know. I'm sure he had reasons behind it, but none of them worked out, right? So by that alone, C plus. I really think Russia's inability to work with Conk. He tried to work with Austria after a stab. That's always tough. See, for example, after I stabbed him, Village Idiot himself, so he knows how hard that is. Okay, Turkey's grade.
I have to say, it's so shocking to hear Ed give like a middle of the road grade to someone. Isn't it? Are you sure it's not going to be a C plus plus or something? I mean, you haven't given any of those yet.
That's a computer language.
Yeah, right. So where are we?
C plus plus is you're the best of the mediocres.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Turkey's grade.
Oh, Turkey's got an A. He's got a shot of a build. That's amazing.
Yeah, he gets
A
an A.
plus plus.
He
A
gets
plus plus. That's my grade for Turkey. A plus plus.
Well, God, the grade inflation is just getting out of control. You did give an A triple, a plus 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 last episode.
Gotta build.
He hasn't gotten
Yeah,
it
I'm
yet.
saving that plus 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 for the
Well,
end of 08 when he
Uh,
gets his third build.
well,
Each plus
you have
stands
to.
for a build.
Your Texan education system is just spiraling out of control. You've already given the triple plus. You're gonna have to get to a quadruple plus. I mean,
Lest you forget,
300%.
this man gets an A plus plus.
he threw that shovel and he sank Russia.
Yeah, right. Oh yeah.
Italy's grade.
Actually, an A plus doesn't even exist in many grading systems. But in any case, yeah, he does. He gets an A. He gets an A because he has the potential to get 3 builds. I would love to see it after the retreats. I'm sure he's just going to have balls of steel and just go straight into Bulgaria.
The Russian hatred for Konk is real if Romania retreats to Bulgaria.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then he figures he can hold set. He may do that. Here's the reason why. He can still hold Sev. He'll lose the Ukraine, and he'll build Sev.
Yeah, he could. I mean, like I said, it's really hard at this point in the game because you almost have to ask yourself what people are playing for. What people. It's the art of nihilism.
England's grade. We haven't graded England.
Again, it kind of depends on whether the inefficiency of this move is by design.
Yeah. By accident, I would give him a B because it's just great because it really fucks Italy.
Yeah. If it's by design, it's an A. I'm gonna give him an A just because I've seen these built-in inefficiencies too much for me to fully believe that. I'm starting to wonder if it's not if it's not part of his style. I'll give him a tentative A here. I don't really see anything I don't really love. I mean, even by making Italy use his fleet for the convoy too, he just like freezes Italy's fleet there as well. I think it's pretty good for him.
They could have disbanded that Belgian army and taken Paris. It looked so simple to me, and I actually sent it to you guys already.
Yeah, I know you did, but then again, if he had done that, he'd be helping his ally a little. He doesn't like to help his allies too much.
I understand. Just because
he likes to weigh them down a little bit.
Inefficient, so I can't give an A.
Well, you like to help Germany. I give England an incomplete. Yeah. If he does what I think he wants to do, he'll get a really high grade at the end of 08. If hand is right and Italy jumps him,
I'm telling you, grade. It's the dialect of master and slave. It's like this. England is like Italy's beloved servant, right? And Italy slowly just grows more and more attached to his servant to the point where next thing you know, he's carrying the servant on his back because the servant's foot hurts, and it's heavy and he can like barely make it down the road. That's what I see going on. If my interpretation is correct, I'm giving him an A.
But if I was going to stab at Italy, I'd move to the Irish Sea.
Mm-hmm. Well,
No, you want to convoy the army out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he means next turn.
Ah.
Well, we'll see.
I just don't want to ground. I don't want to ground my
Well,
fleet.
we shall see.
Yeah.
Okay. Which power would you want to be right now?
Did we miss a grade? We didn't grade Italy.
We didn't grade Austria.
Oh, I think I asked for Italy's grade, but go ahead. Let's grade Italy.
Hate to do this to Tom. It's funny because his I mean, I hope he's not in albums at home or something. It kind of looks like a D to me.
Looks like a D.
I mean,
almost a C, but it's a D plus.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, what's the plot? What's the plus part? Tom's this grade was dictated by his disband of Portugal.
It was.
It was.
He wasn't going to keep Greece.
Yeah.
I mean, unless he thinks Conk is going to actually. Now that would be interesting. Tell Austria that he'll support Smyrna into Greece, but actually support Greece while taking Smyrna or Khan.
I mean, I wouldn't be like we did the rundown. We did a little tour through his particular, you know, and we determined that Italy is the person who has betrayed him the least or done the least harm to him. I don't know if that factors into his particular art of nihilism, but that is a possibility. I still don't see like I said, his strength this whole game was being able to, keep an eye on the fire with a single unit in the East. And I just don't get it. Like, why is he so indifferent to the Mid-Atlantic? Like, throughout this whole game, he's just been, treating the Mid-Atlantic almost like he doesn't want it. I find it bizarre. Yeah, I have to give him a D, and it hurts me to do so.
Same.
Well, I give him a D as well, but I would really like to see if Conk will support him in fall of 08. Because I think that would mean Austria. Oh, we haven't graded Austria. I would, or did we? I'd give Austria.
He needs Austria out of his center, so he did the right thing. But he can flip next turn. He's free to.
Yep. As for Austria, I mean, I'd give him an A.
Austria gets an
A. A.
Great.
A.
I mean, even this kind of choice that he set up between Turkey and Russia, knowing that they are nemesis in some sense, knowing that they could just clasp each other and throw each other into the sea by both going to Bulgaria. It's pretty smart. I mean, in a lot of ways, like the move, like it wasn't exactly the most difficult choice ever, but it's a continuation of a great series of plays. He's putting himself in position to really swoop to Russia, grab a few more centers. He's might be my favorite to win this game right now. Though I will say, like, I feel like we just constantly are overlooking Germany in the sense that, like, Germany's been at 9 centers for years now, and we've never once picked them to win the game. So I mean, I don't know. Maybe.
Well, if he gets Italy on side,
his chances go way up.
Yeah.
True. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting dance. But yeah, you got to give Austria an A. I mean, what else? What would have been better? What could he have done better here?
I'm surprised they didn't have any coverage over Bulgaria. Like Greece goes to Bulgaria automatically. He's like, Italy's probably going to pull back to it. And I know Conk wants the Aegean or the Smyrna fleet to go to the Aegean, and so he's got to dislodge that way. So there's no real point of pulling your fleets there while the Austrian fleet's still behind. So I would have retreated preemptively. That way it would have covered Bulgaria protected you from getting a disband and blocked Russia from coming into towards your centers.
Wait, so what do you think you should have moved to Bulgaria?
Greece.
Oh, you mean Konk?
Yeah.
Ah, you mean Turkey? Yes.
I think leaving that open was kind of weird.
Right, yeah, because he knew it was getting right, and then he wouldn't have risked getting disbanded with the retreat with Russia.
Right.
Yeah,
he can't really afford a retreat. Not that he's poised to win, but if you get a forced retreat
that's true. That's true. I think that we might have to give Turkey. We might have to give the Ottoman emperor a few demerits here.
He's still taking Bulgaria.
That might be an A minus.
This depends on how petty
I know, but he wouldn't have to deal with he wouldn't have to deal with oh my god, the word's escaping me. What's the game where you wouldn't have to deal with playing chicken with Russia if he had just moved there?
This is a detrimental bounce. This isn't Black Sea.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, we're gonna have to knock the Ottomans down a grade, I think.
No A plus.
I don't really give A plus to begin with. I forgot what my original grade. I'm gonna give him an A minus.
A minus.
There was no need for him to support. Yeah, from Greece.
All right, you kind of convinced me. I'll go with an A though. I went down to an A.
I mean, he's still in a good position, assuming the Russian retreat. But yeah, there's no point of holding on to Greece. You were not going to keep it.
Okay. Any final words, fellas, on this on the board?
I really like the resurrection of England here. It annoys the crap out of me because I'm really Team Italy. But
yeah,
I love a lot of this. I hate that it's inefficient, but it actually works very well in England's favor. So good job.
Yeah, I just look forward to Conch the Magnificent's third fleet.
I think he'll build an army.
It has to be an army. Army con.
No. Army. Fleets all the way. More fleets. More.
All right. Thanks, guys.
I want him to take the Black Sea finally. He's never had it.
He just needs to retreat to Ankara then.
I've got news for you. He can take it at will. There are no fleets opposing him into the Black Sea. He's got it.
At the end of 1910.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Fun episode. Thanks to diplomacybriefing.com, and good night to both of you.
Good night.